What's up? What's up? What's up, sports world? Listen. I know that we don't usually do this. Obviously, we don't usually do this early in the morning stuff. This is this is coffee talk type of deal. But nevertheless, you got to rise up early. Coffee talk mashup. Marcus the Alphabet should be here any moment. I just find it funny. As soon as you want to do something, all of a sudden, duty calls or nature calls, and all of a sudden, people want to talk to you, even though you had all morning to talk to me. But nevertheless, we here once again. I'm Andre the Torch Robinson, the fire starter. Devon Stanfield, the professional, sir. Listen, listen, sir, listen, sir. You already starting early this morning. Okay, early. I listen. I know you're a comedian, sir. I know you have your comedic route that you like to take. Nevertheless, shout out to Ramona Die for the phenomenal intro, by the way. And you all right with it. You'll be all right with it. Dalton Smith, what's good? What's good, my guy? What's good? Shout out to all y'all tuned in right now. We I just need y'all to, share this thing up, like this thing, of course. And as you see the ticket or what it says, man, if you're on YouTube, make sure you join the Rise Up Family channel on YouTube and join Rise Up Family Sports Network on Facebook. Also, if you're in the 716 region, I also, of course, and I got to put this out there because shout out to my goddamn Buffalo Sabres. I have a Buffalo Sabres fan only page that you can join as well. You get all the updated information. If you do that hockey, you know how they say do that hockey. If you do that hockey, which started and originated from us anyway, yeah, go ahead and join that page as well on Facebook. Man, have a good time with it. You'll see all the highlighted information, up to date, info, the whole 9 yards. You can get it early. All right. Dalton Smith, always a winner, in everything that he does. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate you for being a winner, the winner that you are, sir. I think you are an Olympics GOAT, by the way. Shout out to you, sir, and a phenomenal job that you do with the Olympics. Now, with that being said, there are some things that I need to bring up. I will be talking football today. You're welcome, no problem, sir. I will be talking football shortly, but I have to get into some NBA first until Marcus the Alphabets gets on here. I'm going to talk the NBA playoffs. There's some things that need to be said. I will talk NBA playoffs. I might even talk a little WNBA coming up because I like what I'm seeing there. But I want to start off by talking about these NBA playoffs. And of course, I got to bring, scores and give you all this good stuff. So let's start off first and foremost talking about the Orlando Magic. I got to talk about the Orlando Magic, aka we used to call them years ago the Orlando Tragic. Tragedy has struck again. Tragedy has reared its ugly head once again, folks, as the Orlando Magic, the team that had a 3-1 lead. It's something about 3-1s. It's something about 3-1s. In fact, since we're talking about 3-1s, put in the comment section right now your most memorable 3-1 comeback. It could be basketball, it could be baseball, it could be hockey. Put in the comment section your most memorable 3-1 comeback, all right? Most memorable 3-1 comeback, all right? The Orlando Magic. Let's talk about it. The Orlando tragedy that just took place as the Detroit Pistons yesterday took care of business. The number 1 overall seed was on the ropes. 3-1, come all the way back to scratch, claw, climb their way into the second round with a 116-94 victory over the Orlando Magic, in which Banchero balled out the entire series. This guy balled out the entire series. By the way, Banchero, rate him right now in the comment section. You tell me, is he a top 10 player in this league right now? Tell me. I want to know. I gotta hear some thoughts. I like to get some thoughts. Put in the comment section, some interjection. I love that type of stuff because it lets me know where people's thoughts are. It lets me know where people's heads are. And I personally just want to know. I really need to know this. Do you consider Banchero a top 10 player right now in the league? Put it in the comment section for me. I appreciate that. As we talk about this 3-1 debacle, damn, Banchero, 38 points. 38 points. 14 to 25, 4 from 7 from 3. 9 rebounds to go along with it. He had 5 turnovers. Those turnovers, got to be careful for. And turnovers. See, you got 38 points and be a minus 18. See what I'm saying? He had 6 assists. It's tough. Stuff out here. Stuff out here. In this league now, you can score 40. I remember when you used to score 40 and it'd be like, okay, this got to be a close game, or whoever scored 40, that team won, or they blew out the team. Now you can score 40 and get your ass smacked. You could get smacked. I mean, The Rock SmackDown. Like, seriously. Tobias Harris for Detroit put up 30 points, 11 to 18, had a phenomenal series. I gotta give Tobias Harris props. As a wily veteran, Tobias Harris showed up big time, along with Cade Cunningham, 32 points. It felt like Cunningham and Banchero the entire series just went to war with each other. They went to war all series long. Only difference is that it's not how you start a series, it's how you finish one. Okay. It's not how you start it, it's how you finish. And how the Detroit Pistons finished this series is the reason why the Orlando Magic will be sitting at home instead of being in round 2, knocking off the number 1 seed, which would have been phenomenal for the city of Orlando. It would have been phenomenal for Florida sports, who hasn't had the greatest sports year, by the way. Florida has not had the greatest sports year this year. Georgia, we'll get into them too, has not had the greatest sports year this year. But it would have been nice to watch, that David versus Goliath type of thing happen and flourish in this series. But I mean, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Durham had a 15-15 game, showed up. Cade Cunningham, 32 points, 12 assists. I think he's one of few players who has had a 30-point game and a 10-plus assist game in the playoffs. I think he's one of few, the proud. Okay, a few in the proud. But again, matchup nightmares. Desmond Bane came out too late. 16 points. Wendell Carter, 13 points. Jalen Suggs looked a little shrugged in game 7, 6 points. It's not going to get it done. You need more. You need more scoring. You need more production. And they did not get it. They didn't get it. On top of the fact that Wagner's brother was hurt for game 7, so he didn't even play. But if I was the Orlando Magic, and this is something I want to talk about too while we're talking about this game 7, if I was the Orlando Magic, I think that it is a little premature. Now, again, when you lose 3-1s, 3-1s are different. We evaluate and look at those things a little differently when it comes to 3-1s. And I ain't gonna lie, That game 6 performance that Orlando had on their home court, I think is the reason, honestly, the real reason why their coach was fired today, by the way. Yeah. Do I think it's a little premature? I think it's a little premature. I think when you have a guy who gave you 3 straight winning seasons, year in the playoffs, 3 years in a row, I get it. I get it. First round exits. We know all about not meeting up to expectation. A lot of people thought that this team, with the talent that they had, should have did more. But now we know that the Eastern Conference is not a wash anymore. The Eastern Conference isn't just a sneeze anymore. It's not something you just look over anymore. It's not just something that you could just be like, well, weak ass conference, yada yada yada. You can't say that anymore. You have to be honest. You have to be honest about the Eastern Conference. It is a war of attrition now. You have to battle now even more. And I honestly think that if they had a legitimate, real number 2, that the Orlando Magic probably would have finished off my guy, the Alphabets, who was on mashup. I told y'all he would be in the house. Nevertheless, make sure you like and share. Marcus, what's good, my guy?
What's goody, man? I'm sorry. They were making me reboot, man. I'm sorry about that. But I'm here.
No,
what's up, everybody? Hope everybody's doing all right.
I told you. Listen, I told the whole world. When I started this show, I told the entire world, I said, it's funny how as soon as you want to do something, all of a sudden people who didn't talk to you, all of a sudden want to talk to you. You had all morning to talk to me. Now you want to talk. Lord have mercy. I'm like, come on now. I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do this sports thing that we love to do so much. By the way, like and share the show. This is the Rise Up Early Coffee Talk mashup. Myself, Marcus, the Alphabets on the 1s and 2s. Marcus, I was just talking about game 7s and the allure of having a 3-1 lead. So I'll ask you, because you just jumped on too. I'll ask you, what is your most memorable 3-1 comeback memory in sports? What is your memorable moment from 3-1s?
Was the year that the Nuggets won over the number 1 seed, was that a 3-1? Also, in the finals with the Cavs and the Cavs and the Warriors, when they came back, I mean, let's face it, that Golden State team was very that Golden State team, you know, the Splash Brothers and unfortunately Draymond Green. I mean, when you look at in the history books, they will go down as one of the greatest dynasties in basketball history. And for the Cavs to come back, you know, Draymond got suspended, and then they just couldn't come back. That was pretty memorable to me. But you know the thing that really bothers me, Dre, and this really hit me yesterday when I saw it. These NBA players nowadays, they're really soft. How are you in a game 7? Unless I'm like on my deathbed, I'm playing. Jason Tatum and KD.
How to get there? We didn't get there yet. We didn't get there.
All right. To me, I'm just like
table. Please table that.
I'm just like
right now.
I'm just like, dude.
Already. I told you he do this once a show. I tell you, he do this once a show. Even if it's early morning coffee talk, Marcus the Alphabets does this at least once a show. Marcus, we didn't even get to. I promise you. We better. Matter of fact. Listen, we understand that the Orlando Magic got beat I don't think their coach should have been fired. I thought it was a little premature. I understand why he got fired, though. 3-1 has a different essence, has a different feel, has a different image when you're up 3-1 and then you pull a game 6 like you did, being up 24 points, and then you lose that game because you can't score more than 30 points in the second half. I can understand why you would get fired. I don't like it because I've seen other people do it and they didn't get fired. I've seen other stuff, which we're going to talk about during the show, that is fireable offenses to me. We'll get to it. Remember, I told you, Florida has not had a very good sports year. This has not been a very good sports year for Florida, nor has it been a very good sports year for Georgia. We'll get to them too. And Boston too. Matter of fact, speaking of not so very good sports seasons, this would, you know what, Marcus? I tell you, you do this all the time. Perfect. The absolute perfect segue into what happened on Saturday with the Boston damn Celtics. Sir, I will go ahead and let you talk about Jason Tatum, but I want to say this first before you get into that whole diatribe. The Boston Celtics, I don't want to hear a damn excuse from y'all. I don't want to hear nothing. Zero, zilch, nada, zip. Joe Mazzulla is probably one of the best coaches in the NBA. Will we agree with that? Hands down, one of the best coaches. Yeah. Has won NBA championships, correct?
He's pretty good.
Okay.
He's pretty good.
He's a damn good head coach, right? I don't want to hear no excuses. I promise you, I don't want to hear none of it. You had this 76ers team who, may I add, had Paul George, who by the way, we all know the image that we have on Paul George when it comes to playoffs. We call him Paul Pierce was playoff P. I don't know about Paul George. Paul George, we know the history of Paul George in playoffs. Okay, that's number one.
They were missing Joel Embiid. They were missing Joel Embiid most of the.
We was about to get to that. Joel Embiid was missing for the first 3 games of the series. By the way, and all of a sudden, in game 4, you blew them out when Joel Embiid came back in game 4. So I don't want to hear no excuses on this at all. But Marcus, go ahead and get into the diatribe of Jason Tatum, because that's something I definitely want to talk about too.
Is it fair to say? And look, I'm just posing this question. Is it fair to say that Jaylen Brown has surpassed Jason Tatum as the best player on the Boston Celtics? Everybody's talking about now. I'm seeing these hypothetical trades. Not even 24 hours after this went down, Giannis for Jaylen Brown. In my opinion, I think Jaylen Brown has been the best player on the Boston Celtics. I don't know if I wouldn't be more inclined to trade Jason Tatum than I would Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown, when you look at a guard forward combo type guy, can score whenever. Now, look, I will give some grace to Jason Tatum, coming off of the injury that he had last year. I didn't know how effective he would be coming into this season, but Jaylen Brown has emerged, in my opinion, as the best player on the Boston Celtics. Can guard 4 positions, can score at will. How tall is Jaylen Brown? 6'9", 6, he's a guard forward combo. I thought he showed himself. He represented himself very well, but in a critical game 7. Now look, Jaylen, we saw last year with Halliburton. I get it. With Tyrese Halliburton trying to play through an injury, we saw that, and it made it worse. And then he ended up tearing his Achilles or something like that. But I just feel like in a game 7 with everything on the line, and we saw the same thing with KD with the Rockets. You're supposed to be one of the greatest players. I think KD will go down as one of the greatest players ever. Jason Tatum, you are considered one of the elite players of this generation. And when your team needed you in a game 7, go win or go home, and you're sitting over there drinking Gatorade. I have a problem with that. I just do. And maybe it's just a mentality thing with me. Some stuff, and maybe it's just years and years of being in the military. You're just taught to, push through certain stuff. Some people's pain tolerance level, I guess everybody doesn't have the same pain tolerance level. And there is a difference between hurt and injured. At this stage, everybody's pretty much, worn down from the a long season, 82 games plus the playoffs, a war of attrition. But I just feel if it's any way possible, you can get a shot, you can get some type of injection or something to power through that situation. I'm just doing it. I was extremely disappointed with Jason Tatum, and I was extremely disappointed with KD. Without KD, the Rockets were just done. They were just done. They had like no offense. Alperen, is that his name? Or Sagoon or whatever. He didn't do crap. And look, the Celtics, they got to do some soul searching. I think this offseason, again, I saw some hypothetical trade. Giannis being traded for Jaylen Brown, but I don't know if I wouldn't be opposed to keeping. Are you there?
What? You wouldn't be opposed to what?
I would not be opposed to them keeping Jaylen Brown and letting and trading Jason Tatum. I feel like Jaylen Brown has surpassed Jason Tatum as the best player on the Celtics.
That's your diatribe. That's what you got from me?
That's my diatribe. That's what I got. Yeah. That's
Marcus the Alphabets. I'm so glad that you said this, sir. I've been saying this for 2 seasons that Jaylen Brown was already surpassed Jason Tatum, and folks looked at me like I was crazy. Excuse me, sir. I need y'all to understand, and this is not a pat on the back to myself, but this is the world that we love so much. See, you thought I was going to say something else. This is the world we love so much. I love the world where you can debate on sports topics and bring some legitimacy to your diatribes that you got right here and put them on wax and on paper and on record. Because I'm on record, literally telling y'all last year that Jaylen Brown was better than Jason Tatum.
Before the injury?
Before the injury?
Okay.
Before the injury.
Okay.
Number 2. Remember we had the conversation about who should have been in the Olympics? You remember that conversation? Do you remember that? Okay. As long as we remember that conversation and Jason Tatum didn't play at all in the Olympics. Remember he was sitting the bench? He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. I told y'all then Jaylen Brown is a better player. And here's why. 3-tier score, not injury prone. And you can get more from him in bigger games. Marcus the Alphabets. In the words of the good book that me and you have both read, you talked about a 5-letter word, grace. You said grace. You can give him a little grace. My grace is sufficient. My grace is sufficient. Guess what? Jason Tatum was playing fine and dandy in game 6. I need somebody. Go ahead right now. Somebody, if you can, pull up the video where Jason Tatum got hurt. Pull it up. Show me. Usually you can see when somebody got hurt. Go pull up when Jason Tatum got hurt in game 6. I'm just wondering for those. It's almost like, when did Bo Nix get hurt? Remember we had that conversation about when
the game.
Okay. Yeah. When did Jason Tatum get hurt? Because you know what it looks like to me? Somebody who likes to investigate journalists, be an investigative journalist.
We got a term. We got a term, Dre. I don't know if you ever heard this. I don't know if you ever heard this term before. We call it the loser limp. You ever heard of a loser limp before?
Loser limp, yeah, absolutely.
When the pressure's on, and your toughness is being questioned, you would rather be hurt than go out there and fail. We call that the loser limp. When a boxer's getting his ass whipped, I tore my rotator cuff. Was it the rotator cuff, or because he kept pushing your nose into your skull? So I'm not here to question anybody's toughness, but I just feel. Okay. We can do it.
You might not be here to question that, but hell, I am. Okay. I tell you, listen. You remember Saw 6? You remember Saw 6? And I hate to go this far because this is dark. It might get a little dark. But remember when they had the opportunity to pull the ledge on the guy. And the lady and the mom was like, I can't do it. And the son was like, but I can. Yeah. And he pulled it. He gave reasons why he pulled the ledge on him. Well, guess what? The lever on him. Well, guess what? I'm pulling the lever. I'll do it. Jason Tatum. I'm going to tell you. Jason Tatum didn't want giving up 3-1 on his resume. He didn't want to be involved in game 7. So when they lost, they could be like, well, Jason Tatum, you was in the game 7, and you got your boot smoked, and you lost from 3-1. Well, guess what? If that's what you were trying to run from, sir, because that's what it looks like to me in a way, it looks like you trying to run, do the loser limp, as you call it. The hobble, the wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble. Yeah, he wobbled himself right out of game 7.
Yeah.
Sir, you did play in 80% of the games in the series, sir. So just because you don't play game 7 doesn't mean this is not on you too, sir. Just because you didn't play game 7 doesn't mean that you ain't involved in the Boston Celtics' first time ever losing after having a 3-1 lead. You know, this is the first time Boston's ever done that, right? The Celtics has ever.
That's not a stat you want to have. That is not a historic stat.
Right. So that's number 1, right? So remember, we talked about 3-1s, right? But there is something that needs to be also said, and then I'm gonna read some comments. When you win championships, you get more leeway because you've won championships. Funny how Boston last year lived and died by the same 3-point shot that they just died from in this series. Shooting the 3 is why they lost this series. They died by the 3. Jaylen Brown did not have a whole lot of people who actually produced in this series when it came to games 4 through 7. Now, Jason Tatum, once again, is on the bench and nowhere to be found. And people are like, well, if Jason Tatum would have played, no, shut that shit up. Shut it up. They would have lost. They would have lost.
If your threes aren't falling, you know who had a very good game? Queta, the center, Queta. Pound the rock inside. Look, sometimes during the course of a game, your three's not falling. Well, guess what? If it's not falling, then pound it in the paint. Queta had a really good game.
So Melanie, yeah, shout out to Melanie. Melanie, you found the injury in game 4, but you didn't see nothing in game 6. Exactly my point. See what I'm saying? Marcus just talked about being able to push through. Well, hell, you played in games 4 through 6 with an injury. What happened in game 7? See what I'm talking about, Marcus? See what I'm talking about? This is why I love sports talk. And I love people who go and research and go, look, because I just wanted to want to know. I want to know where was the injury because I didn't see it in Game 6 at all. At all, I didn't see that. So now, getting back to Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown was a MVP candidate, Marcus, this year. Okay, played phenomenal this year. Sir, I told you last year he was better than Jason Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
So now
they're talking about trading him. They're talking about trading him now.
We have identified. I won't say the weakest link because he ain't the weakest link, but we have identified what has already been given a theory to, and there was a hypotenuse or a hypothesis on beforehand. But Marcus. See, as quick as we give Jaylen Brown all this credit, is just how fast one oops can mess up 100 data boys. Hold on, y'all. Are we preaching this morning? That sounded like somebody I know. Used to say, see, y'all was waiting. I know y'all was waiting for the impersonation. I know y'all was waiting for it. So I decided to give it to you right then and there. One oops can mess up 1,000 data boys. Jaylen Brown. And Marcus, you talked about toughness. Jaylen Brown. I get it. You're highly upset. You're annoyed. You just gave up a 3-1. You lost. You're sitting at home. You're sulking a little bit. It's stinging. But you went on a live. You know, it's funny because we just had conversations about going on lives and what you say on lives. When you are the creme de la creme, in which you would be the creme de la creme when it comes to basketball, and then you go on there and you talk about Joel Embiid, who has got to be the most injured player, one of the most injured players in your conference that I've ever seen. Now, is he a great big man? Hell yeah, he's one of the best.
Mm-hmm. Is he more injury prone than Zion Williamson?
Zion. He over there in the West. And I would say that there's more injury prone players than him too.
Is he more injury prone than Ben Simmons? Is he more injury prone than Ben Simmons?
Why Leonard? Oh, okay.
Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons was on the East Coast, but Ben Simmons is on the East Coast of a Target Plaza right now. I don't know what the hell he's on. Regardless, sir, one of the most injury-prone players that I've ever played, has played in this Eastern Conference, and you get up there and start talking about flopping.
Didn't Jaylen Brown miss a game? Didn't he miss a game in this series too?
Listen,
he missed a game in this series too.
Not
game 7.
I wouldn't give a damn if Jaylen Brown missed a game or not. Jaylen Brown, you went on a live and started talking about flopping, sir.
Don't do that. Don't do that,
sir. Even if you're right, the time wasn't right to do that. You did that 24 hours after losing the 3-1, and you get on here on live on Twitch for everybody to see. You talk about Joel Embiid flopping and that the refs have an agenda against you. Lord have mercy. Sir, you know what the optics, what that makes you look?
Sore loser.
That makes you look very soft. SAWFT soft. That's what it makes you look like. It makes you look like. It makes you look like.
It also makes you look. It also makes you look like a. It also makes you look salty. So how about this? You said soft, SAWFT.
Yeah.
And salty. Mm-hmm. So we will call him a salty pretzel, a soft pretzel. How about that?
Soft pretzel. Yo, do not hashtag soft pretzel. Soft pretzel. Well, guess what, folks? We got a sale going on in Boston right now. There's a sale going on in Boston. You can get some tea and a pretzel. You can get pretzel and tea and pretzels right now at your neighborhood bakery or whatever store you want it from. Tea and pretzels. Hashtag that.
Soft
tea and pretzels.
Soft and salty. That makes you a soft pretzel. That's what that makes.
Soft pretzel. Hashtag soft pretzel. Hashtag tea and pretzels. Tea and pretzels right now.
I don't know though. I don't know though, Dre. As far as optics, yes, it did make Jaylen Brown look really salty, but Jason Tatum looks soft.
Oh, I get it.
I'd rather be a little bit salty than soft, bro. In crunch time, when we need you, all the cards are on the table.
Okay, it's on the bench.
And you over there sitting up there smiling and stuff in warm-ups. I don't like that. I don't like that with him. And I didn't like it with KD. KD, really? You're basically out there competing against the Lakers and LeBron James, who you've had kind of somewhat of a
with. You've had a history.
You've had a history with, who's the best player, We talk about
3 finals against each other.
Yeah. And you have an opportunity. You're the best player. I think you're the best player on the Rockets. And you have a chance to go head to head with LeBron James, who I don't think is the greatest basketball player that's ever lived. I don't.
No. Here's the other optic. Here's the other opposite that need to be mentioned. He ain't the greatest, so I get it. Some will think that, and whatever the case may be. But this may be one of the last opportunities for you to see Kevin Durant and LeBron James face off in a playoff. So maybe one of the very last opportunities.
Yes, unless my leg is falling off, I'm out there, bro. And again, this is it. So when we have these debates, and look, I hate to bring it back to this, but when it's pertinent, I feel like you have to bring it up. When football players and basketball players have these debates about who's the tougher athlete, and I hear basketball players say, "I could go to the NFL and play," and I'm like, "Shh." You're in a sport that there's no contact. There's contact. There's fouls and stuff. Y'all are crying and flopping and all kind of stuff. And you say that, yes, I could have played in the NFL if I had really wanted. No, you couldn't have. Because if you can't, in a game 7, see, in football, there ain't no series. It's 1 game a week, 17 games. That's it. You don't have the opportunity to sit out of games or these rests, this load management and crap like that. I don't ever want to hear again after what I saw this weekend with KD and Jason Tatum in a game 7, do or die. That's like missing the Super Bowl or missing the NFC Championship or AFC Championship, divisional round of the playoffs because, there's only 1 game and you miss that. You missed that. And you weren't there for the clinching game. You win 1 game. And then you get to rest for a couple of days, and then the teams that you got to face in the playoffs down the road, they're engaged in a battle over there. Maxey and them and the New York Knicks and all of them, they're engaged in some brutal series over there. There's just no way in a game of that magnitude with everything on the line that I'm sitting out. That's just the way I'm wired. I guess everybody ain't wired the same. Don't ever compare football to basketball. Don't do it no more. Oh, we could play. What's a harder sport, football or basketball? Well, we play all of these games. Dude, you play. Look, you're not getting hit y'all barely get fouled and you fall down and y'all are flopping. They literally had to get a flopping rule in the game of basketball because guys are flopping. They literally had to create that for the they had to create a rule for flopping. A Vlade Divac rule. You remember Vlade Divac back in the day? It's like, come on, man. And you really said, oh, yeah, wow, I could have played in the NFL if I wanted. No, you couldn't have, bro. Like, stop. Just stop it. Don't do that no more. I don't want to hear it no more after this past weekend.
Let me read these comments. I'm rooting for LaFraud to get obliterated by OKC. It's gonna happen. Trust me, Dwayne Woodley.
Oh man,
if that team is not healthy, if they don't have Luka Doncic in the entire team, they're getting swept. I got a feeling that LA will get swept by the Oklahoma City Thunder. No question. Oklahoma City Thunder is built different. They're just built different. It's different. They have built. They have rectified. Hold on, watch this. The Oklahoma City Thunder have rectified their past demons from when Russell Westbrook, KD, and James Harden, and Serge Ibaka, and Steven Adams, and all those guys
exercise.
They have
exercise.
I say rectified. The reason why I say rectified.
Well, if you say demons, we exercise demons. We exercise.
Okay. However you want to put it, they have. Well, you know what? Then I'll change it. They have rectified their past issues of not winning an NBA championship because SGA and them they don't play games. It take no prisoners. They don't. Now, here's the thing: they may not win this year. San Antonio looks good. They may not win this year, but SGA. They going to the Western Conference Finals, and they might sweep LA just to make a point, because they know. I'm sure they know Minnesota and San Antonio without Ant-Man playing. If Ant-Man's playing, that series might be a sweep in itself too. So again,
you need to get this series over with as fast as possible.
So
you can. So what? Yeah. So when you get
41-year-old LeBron James, I love him to death.
Yeah,
I love him to death. But he probably gonna get swept. They're gonna get swept, and that's just my thing. I think that's exactly how that's gonna go.
Will this change the opinion of LeBron? If LeBron James were to get swept in this series, does that change anything about him historically, or does that change your opinion of LeBron James at all with the scoring record and all of that stuff? Does that change if he were to go out there and just get annihilated at 41 years old to an up and coming Oklahoma City Thunder team with a guy like SGA, who's for the past couple of the defending league MVP? Would that change the narrative on LeBron James, or is it just like, okay, it is what it is? It's kind of like what we expected.
That's a very good question, Marcus, and here's my answer. Shout out to Melanie, by the way, for catching the Enzo Amore reference that I gave about SAWFT soft. I'm going to go back to another wrestling reference, and I'm going to say this. Marcus the Alphabets. The Oklahoma City Thunder beating the LA Lakers would be like Obafemi beating Brock Lesnar, sir. At this point in the game, I don't think there's much you can really do that will tarnish LeBron anymore. If you haven't already tarnished LeBron, if you're one of those guys who have already found reasons to tarnish LeBron, I don't think that losing to OKC is going to do it. I don't think that makes too much of a difference. But what I will say is, I, as the investigative journalist that I like to be, would definitely investigate his LA stay. And what I mean by investigating his LA stay is because besides the COVID championship that you won, what have you actually done in LA? It would be like the bad girls. What was that girl name? Saying I run LA. What's her name? Put it in the comment section. I feel like I would have to question that. What have you done in LA exactly, sir? Last I checked, you got bounced a plethora of times in the first round. You missed the playoffs in LA. You got swept in LA.
Where do we have LeBron James at historically?
Sir, you want hold on. We got LeBron James at number 3 historically. To me personally, LeBron James is number 3 historically. But
okay. Behind
Michael and Kobe.
Okay.
But
Kobe's not top 3.
I have to question his LA stay. And the reason why is because he came to LA to solidify legacy. Magic and Bron, that whole conversation of him coming to LA was for legacy purposes. You don't come to LA unless you want to solidify that. And to me, have you? Because you won 1 playoff game with Luka Doncic, by the way. 1! Not a series. You won 1 game with Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic is considered probably top player in the league?
Huh? 5.
Yeah. Top 5.
Top 5.
And you had Austin Reeves. You had the crew. You had the crew with you. Like Stephen A. The crew. You had the crew with you. Come on, man. Like, I would investigate his LA stay. That's just me. I'd be like, well, what did you really do? Because to me, I felt like you was more impactful in Cleveland than you have been in LA. If we're being honest. I mean, which championship do you reference more? Do you reference the COVID championship or do you reference the 3-1 comeback championship, right? Right? Right.
Yeah.
That was one of your memories.
And I think
that was one of your memories. That was one of your moments. You said here on this show.
I think the Cleveland championship was more redeeming for him than the COVID championship. I mean, in Cleveland, they were starving for they were starving for a championship. I mean, I don't think that they had won a professional championship in any sport since like Jim Brown won the NFL championship. So they were and then considering his first stint with Cleveland that crashed and burned and the back and forth with the owner saying he quit on the team and he would never win a championship once he left Cleveland. I think that was more satisfying with him. And then winning at home, even though he's from Akron, I mean, still, Ohio. I think that has a little bit more significance. The Lakers, look, I know people don't want to hear this. We have cornerstone franchises in sports. In all sports, whatever sport, hockey and basketball, you got the Lakers. And even though the Knicks haven't won in a long time, the Knicks are considered one of those teams, Celtics, Knicks, Lakers. In football, we have cornerstone franchises. The Steelers haven't won in a few years. Cowboys haven't won in a few years. There's still cornerstone franchises that people watch. So
was that a setup for a punchline on another date? Did you say a few years? A few years? That was that a setup?
Well, no. Because when I say a few years, hell, my Cowboys haven't won a championship in 30 years. So I would never tease somebody about how long it's been since a championship. I'll tease on you for never winning a championship, but I will never tease on somebody for a long time of not winning, in between it. Because look, you still did it, okay? So that's where I always get into people that are like, oh, they haven't won in a long time. I'm like, okay, you've never won. So which is longer, 30 years or never? So the significance of the Cleveland championship, I don't think that I think that's pretty significant considering the drought overall sports championship drought in the city of Cleveland, them longing for that, him kind of fulfilling his destiny there, the chosen one, wearing number 23, the banner that they had out, we are all witness. You remember he came into We Are All Witness. They got the banner outside of the basketball stadium. So I don't think that the bubble championship measures up to that at all. Natalie, no.
My guy Joe Ferguson, who's got a clothing line coming out real soon. Shout out to my guy. I got to put him out there because he's been putting in work in the 716, and I appreciate that guy, that young fella, definitely doing it the right way, doing this thing. Listen, real quick, before we get into this whole Atlanta thing, because I'm definitely about to touch bases on them. Number one, LeBron losing would be LeBron just losing again. Second round, okay? So don't hold that. Unless LeBron has like the absolute worst series in the world, no. As far as Devon said some stuff on here. He was talking about Cade Cunningham. Yes, Cade Cunningham definitely put the league on notice last year. Definitely doing big things in the league. And actually, I think Cade Cunningham is probably a top 15 player in the league right now too, as well. So give him his props. Detroit came back from 3-1 and sent Orlando home. Dalton, you thought that the Magic was you thought Orlando was going to make magic by beating Detroit. Well, guess what? Those magic tricks are old and have dissipated. Have totally just have been thrown to the dumpster, sir.
Did you feel that the Orlando coach deserved to be fired?
No, I told you
he got fired this morning. He got fired this morning.
I told you this earlier. If you was listening, I don't know if I said that. Well, I'll say it again. I think it was a little premature because I think Orlando is missing a legitimate number two scorer, a number two behind Panchero. I think that would have helped, especially with Wagner being Wagner being injured.
Bane
didn't show up. Bane, I'm sorry. Bane, I don't know if Bane was busy with Batman. Maybe Bane was busy with Batman. I don't know. Maybe he was busy with Batman, but he didn't show up.
Don't be talking about.
Bane didn't show up when you needed him to show up. Bane is not a legitimate number two. No. Don't
be talking about Devon's doppelganger, okay?
That's nice.
I already told Devon Stanfield looks like Desmond Bane. Don't be talking about him like that.
He does. It's all good. Yes, I'm ready for Wednesday night too, by the way. We're going to talk about that later on in the show too. We're going to get to that. I promise you we're going to get to it. Desmond Bane didn't show up. He was too busy. He was too busy with Batman. They need a legitimate number two. I understand why he got fired because that 3-1 looked ugly, by the way. Game 6, when you're up 24 and you can't score 20 points in the second half, but you're up 24 points and you give up game 6 and then you lose the series in game 7 and you get beat the way you did in game 7. Yeah, I can understand why you would get fired, but I think it was premature. I think the guy who, gave you 3 winning seasons, 3 back-to-back playoff appearances in which Orlando was god-awful, Azubuike Dookie, dumpster juice. I think it was premature, but then again, it brings me to what I'm about to talk about right now. Great segue. Excuse me. I just want to put this out there. I told y'all that Florida sports hasn't had a good year. Well, Georgia hasn't either. By the way, if Orlando's coach got fired, Quinn Snyder, front and center, homeboy, front and center. My state team, the New York Knicks, who y'all had fun 2 years ago. You remember when Trae Young was playing on the team and he stood in the middle of Madison Square Garden? It was all fun and games, right? When they were sending the Knicks home, right? Remember that? It was all fun and games when they were sending. It's not fun when the rabbit got the gun now, is it, huh? It's not fun. It's not fun when you was up 2-1 and y'all was bragging when your boy C.J. McCollum hit that jump shot. Game 3, y'all was all bragging, and then you got took to the woodshed 3 games in a row. And by the way, we talking about woodshed? Oh no!
Oh man, that was terrible.
Game 6.
That was terrible.
By the way, I have to testify right here on Rise Up Early's Coffee Talk Show. I got to testify because I, like Marcus the Alphabet said, we all witness. Can I get a witness? I was witness to when your collegiate college basketball team came up here and got the boots smoked off of them. I mean, the brakes beat off of them by a St. Louis mid-major team when the Georgia Bulldogs, what's that coming down the track? It wasn't nothing mean it wasn't nothing mean machine in the red and black. Not that day. They got the boots smoked off of them. I mean, belt to ass when they came here. You remember that, Marcus? Matter of fact, I think I called you, Marcus, when I told you. I said, is this why Georgia came up here? Did Georgia come up here to do this? This is what Georgia came up here for? You came up here to get your ass whooped by a mid-major? I mean, they got their ass smoked by 30-something. I thought that was the biggest beatdown I saw Georgia, the state of Georgia took until game 6, in which Quinn Snyder, sir, you should be out of a job. You should be fired. Sir, I don't think there's ever, Marcus the Alphabets, I don't think there's ever been a moment in NBA history where I could say that the commissioner should have allowed the Atlanta Hawks to forfeit the game after halftime.
It was pretty bad. I was like, look at,
they should have allowed. They should have allowed. What's his name? Is his name Adam Silver? Is that Adam Silver?
Yeah, that's commissioner. Yeah,
Adam Silver. Adam Silver.
The mercy rule.
Adam Silver should have said, this cubic zirconia performance that y'all put on. You remember Marcus, the movie ATL? Remember when Ant had on that earring and he was like, I guess you gotta fake it till you make it, right? Fake it till you make it. What I think of the Atlanta Hawks. You gotta fake it till you make it. That is the worst faking I've ever seen in my life. Sir,
yeah, they beat him down pretty good.
83 to 36 at half. Yeah. 83-36. Just let that in your head. Just put that in your head.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
You lost 140 to 89 on your home court in game 6. Elimination, sir. And Quinn Snyder still has a job. I almost just busted a blood vessel sitting up here. This is embarrassing.
In the middle of that game, Torch, I was ready to call SVU, Special Victims Unit, man, because it was some straight up abuse going on over there, man. That was really bad. That was really bad.
I'm like, steal, swish, steal, swish, brick, swish, steal, swish. Like, and I mean, I don't know how many millions of times you got to do that repeatedly to end up being down by 47 at half.
Yeah, that was.
And you lost by 51. Area 51. Yeah, I'm calling this the Area 51 beatdown. Sir, at home. And somehow Quinn Snyder still has his job. No, sir, you shouldn't have a job at all, sir. You should be fired. Joe Mazzulla gave up a 3-1, but he's won championships, so he would keep his job. Jamal Mosley gave up a 3-1, and the way he did, and somehow kept his job and lost his job. Quinn Snyder gets his ass spanked. I mean, spanked, belt to ass by 51, by 51, and you still have a job in game 6? Nah, sir. Marcus, you can't even explain that to me. You can't even give me a reason. Give me an excuse why Quinn Snyder would still have his job. Give me a good reason why he would still have his job. Go ahead. I'd love to hear. Comment section. Give me a really good reason why Quinn Snyder should still have his job.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
The whole state of Georgia has just been straight up dumpster juice, boo-boo shit flakes, sewer shakes. I don't know how to even describe this. I mean, give me the ways, Marcus. This is bad, sir.
Yeah, it was. That's a humiliating defeat. Like, there's losing, and then there's being like totally dominated. Like, nothing was falling for them.
They got obliterated.
When you get to and again, when you get to that point there where your shots aren't dropping, to me, that's whenever you kind of look. A game in the paint is like a running game in football. When things aren't working out, you're not getting things down the field. Slow the game down and pound the rock on the inside. Don't just keep shooting threes and low percentage shots. Pound the rock on the inside. And to me, it got out of hand, and there was just what a disappointment, especially as you said, like on their home court to suffer a loss like that. That will go down. That's right up there with 28-3.
Right up there.
Right up there with 28-3.
Right
to get in that type of atmosphere in a playoff. I know it wasn't the Super Bowl championship NBA finals, but with what was on the stake, what was at stake for that team, and to put up that type of and to put up that type of performance where the whole country's watching, that's not something that you get over easily. That ain't something that you forget too soon. So
the fact that the state of Georgia has plenty of disappointing playoff losses, the Atlanta Braves had one too, and don't forget, the Atlanta Braves had a disappointing loss, a very monumental disappointing loss. The Atlanta Falcons, 28-3. Your Georgia Bulldogs, who came here and got belt to ass by mid-major in the NCAA tournament, and then turn around and in the NBA. You just got your boot smoked by 51 in the Game 6 elimination game, and you're at home. Yeah, sir, this is going right up there. The best thing right now going in Georgia is Angel Reese. Oh, yeah. Did I say that? Did I say that? Did I say that?
When I be saying teams are cursed and stuff, people be getting mad. People be, curse. What do you mean by that? There are some cities and some places that they're like the dude off a lie, can't get right, just can't get, like, what the hell? 28-3, the smoking that you got versus the Broncos in 99. Don't forget that too. So it's just like every chance you get to be in the spotlight.
All that Dirty Bird, and they were doing Jamal
Anderson and all them, and to get the brakes beat off of them by, I think that was Elway's last championship. That was Elway's last championship, 98-99. And I'm just like, man, y'all just can't catch a break. And look, it's going to be interesting to see how they bounce back from that. But that's something that you don't forget anytime soon.
At all. Speaking of something you don't forget anytime soon. Speaking of embarrassing, I don't talk about your Buffalo Bills GM. We gotta talk about this guy. I haven't went on wax yet, but I'm on wax now, so I'm about to do some waxing. Okay, some wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi type shit when it comes to this. And when I say this, I'm not trying to make him look good either. When I wax on, wax off, I'm trying to literally let you see, because that's what you wax on, wax off for, so you could see things better. Yeah. First and foremost, topic of discussion is his top picks. The TJ Parker pick from Clemson versus sir, I tell you what, Marcus, we need to put a gag order. There needs to be a gag order in place, put on Brandon Beane's mouth, and his owner. They should not be allowed to talk on national TV on no microphone, because they do such of a buffoonish job of of talking. Ball, wash, and bean. Yeah. First and foremost, he went on. He went on national radio and said his biggest need was that corner. Marcus, do you believe that?
For the defense, that was their biggest need?
Yeah. No, the team's biggest need was corner.
No.
No. Anybody with a brain who watching know that that's bull. Hold on. But wait a minute, Marcus. Let's go back one.
Okay.
Just like he claimed because they were scoring 30 points a game, they didn't need a wide receiver either.
Yeah.
And then he went the same week and went and got bargain basement receivers who did absolutely nothing. But go ahead, Marcus.
And then didn't close the deal on the Jalen Waddle trade.
Dummy. Big dummy. Big dummy. Ask you a question. Hold up. Can I ask you a question? Would Jalen Waddle have been more instrumental to this team's success than TJ Parker? Answer it.
Well, yeah, because it would have cost it. Well, yeah, because it would have cost you your first round pick, so you wouldn't have been able to trade back. And let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Who gives a damn? Hold on. Who gives a damn? He literally went back three times.
Yeah. But let me ask you this. On the interception catch, no catch thing with Brandon Cook, did Jalen Waddle make that play?
And it was warm. It wasn't like it was cold as hell. The next week it got super cold, but the week before when they played in Buffalo, it was sunny and all right.
I'm saying Waddle's. I think Waddle's fat. Probably at this stage of their career, he's faster than Cook. Josh Allen could have put more air under that ball. The ball was kind of a little bit underthrown, a little bit. I think if that's Waddle on that fly route, I think he lays that out and puts it right in the basket, and now you're not even kind of like in it. That being said, though, part of the whole draft process thing. Shout out to my lovely coach from Rona Diehard, because she was there, and then my guy, the professional D Stanfield. As soon as they made that pick, he texted me.
You fly on the wall. Von Stanfield.
It was like WTF. Marcus, did you just see what I just saw? And then here's the worst thing, Torch.
Mm-hmm.
Not even 30 seconds after they made that pick. The Houston Texans.
Later, not even 30 seconds later.
I don't know how much time it is between picks, but as soon as Buffalo made that pick, the Texans on the very next pick. They even wait the allotted time.
Look, they should have. You know how they look inside of the draft rooms. They should have showed the draft room reactions to Houston after Buffalo made that pick, and seen Houston was probably like,
and you let them go. Right, you let them go to a team who's got the best defense. Who's got the best defense in the NFL? And you let maybe the only weakness they have on their team besides CJ Stroud.
We have identified the weakest link. Yeah,
they got elite pass. They got elite pass rushers. They got elite corners. They got elite linebackers. And you let them
in the conference. This is what I'm talking about. They're in your conference.
And after the beating that you took from them last year, where they nearly killed Josh Allen, where Will Anderson Jr. and they had Josh Allen running back 30 yards, you let them get the best. He took a 30-yard sack. He got
9 of them sacks that game. 9.
And you let them get the best nose tackle in the draft.
Who, Marcus, can we also shed light that during the draft process, when it's first and second round, what we expect once again. Hold on, matter of fact, here comes another Marcus the Alphabet's impression. Ready, y'all? Ready for it? It's real simple. When I draft you first round, I expect force multiplier. I expect
Pro Bowls, all pros.
I expect impact immediately. Immediately. Now, for all you dummies out here that keep drafting these BS players in the first and second round, this is why your organization sucks. That's why your organization be looking at on the outside, looking in to the playoffs. That's why y'all be taking these beat downs in the first round of playoffs, because y'all somehow don't want to draft meaningful players who have played meaningful football. And when I say meaningful football, I mean games of importance, like been in a national championship picture, been played in some bowls that actually matter. We're not talking
in a major conference. In a major conference. When you talk about
Howie Roseman literally built the Philadelphia Eagles off the very, very thought that I just said. 5 years in a row, first round, second round, hit, constant hits. Go back and look at 2020 up to 2025, and you see in the draft, Howie Roseman literally picked the best of the best. Georgia players, Ohio State players, Alabama players, literally who have been nothing but impactful since they came. And if he didn't pick somebody that wasn't of that nature, he damn sure picked somebody he knew that was legit, like a MAC conference guy by the name of, do you know who I'm talking about?
You talking about Quinyon Mitchell,
who I got to watch right here. When he played in Toledo, yeah. When he played the UB Bulls, yeah.
Or getting a guy who's not your typical type dude like a Cooper DeJean. We don't look. I don't want to mention it. We don't have a lot of white corners in the league. And they went and got one, and he's a problem. But not just that, with the team building, if we can't draft them, we'll go trade for some.
All right, there you go.
We'll go trade for some. We'll go trade for some. And if that means giving up picks, we're constantly looking to upgrade,
elevate,
to upgrade our roster.
Yeah.
So we're always in the mix, trading for a Zach Bond who resurrected his career, trading for a Saquon Barkley, guys like that. I mean, you're
stupid. By the way, the Giants, you're stupid.
Stupid. Yeah, and then still getting rid of troublemakers off the team. AJ Brown will get traded, and they're gonna get something good for him too.
Of course, and New England's gonna be smart enough to do it. New England will be smart enough and stupid enough to do it. See what I'm saying? Smart and stupid. Because you see, they do need somebody at receiver. That's the smart part. The stupid part is that they're gonna end up giving up something that's probably gonna be super beneficial to the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Eagles gonna take that.
Yeah. You also needed a wide receiver, and you traded in your division.
Oh, don't get me started.
With the Jets, and let them get Omar Cooper Jr., who, in my opinion, we talk about Tyson and Lemon. You talk about Tyson and Lemon and Tate, and you go and get Omar Cooper, national champion from Indiana, and you let him go to the Jets. On the other side, along with they already had 2 first-round picks. They get David Bailey at 3, then they come back and they get the tight end from Oregon, and then they jump back into the first round with you to get Omar Cooper Jr., who you're going to have to see for the next 8 to 10 years.
5 years at least minimum.
Yeah.
5 years at least minimum. Twice a year.
Yeah.
Twice a year. Again,
the best edge rusher. They got the best edge rusher from this draft in David Bailey. You got the best tight end in Sadiq, and you got a top 5 wide receiver in this draft. Best edge rusher, best tight end, top 5 wide receiver. I'm just saying. I'm just
the fact that these buffoons did that is the fact that then in the second round or in the third round, because that's when you got him, he'll dumbass go get the corner who's been penalized the most in the damn in NCAA. You went and got the corner who's been penalized the most to make it seem like, oh, we needed cornerback play, and then went got the most penalized one. How dumb of you! Like, how goofy can you be at this point? And then Marcus, and then to add on to insult, not only was the real biggest need of this team, and you could go look at the roster or depth chart, whatever you want to do, and you would see this firsthand, you would see that they need interior linebacking. And they needed a legitimate nose tackle because Deion Walker is not legitimate. I'm going to tell you why. He's too damn tall, and people are going to get leverage on him, and they're going to give up a lot of yards.
He's 360, right? But he's 6'8". He's 6'8", though.
Yeah, he's too damn tall. Okay. Right. Too damn tall. I get the weight part, but he's too damn tall. That's number one. And then number two, you don't have big enough interior linebacking to stop the run. Sir, your team gave up, I think it was 5 or 6 100+ yard rushing rushers last year, and you gave up almost 2,000 yards of rushing. In fact, you gave up exactly 1993, which was the last time y'all been in the Super Bowl, by the way. One of the last times you've been in the Super Bowl, here nor there. But you gave up that much rushing in one season, and then you had the audacity to go on national and say that buffoonery bullshit. And you had CJ Allen sitting there, CJ Allen from Georgia sitting there. You had McDonald, the nose tackle, sitting right there, and you go get TJ mother effing Parker. You got to be kidding me. First of all, the whole entire Clemson team declined last year. If you watch college football like me, if you are a legitimate stout college football watcher, you would know this. And you went and got this guy. So now I'm asking this question, Marcus. What do the Buffalo Bills actually do with this $12 million? Because you still got interior linebacking problems. You think that 4th rounder that they got is gonna cure that problem? No. You still got to get a nose tackle.
Well, with the $12 million, guess what you also have to do? You got to pay your rookie class.
Yes,
and that's usually about $10 million.
You got to pay.
That's usually about $10 million. So you don't really have a lot. You don't really have.
Devon on here talking. Look, Devon on here talking shit. He's funny. He literally said we traded back 3 times and still ain't get what we needed. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I said I know damn well. Listen, I almost hit the Medea voice. I know damn well. Is there
any scenario?
For what?
Is there any scenario that if the Buffalo Bills regress this year, and look, they've been doing what, 12, 13 games for the past 5, 6, 7 years? Is there a universe? Is there a scenario where they go still a winning seat, 9-8, and Brady is one and done? Is there any scenario where that could happen? Or would that be too hard for them? Because basically what you did, for all you people out there that were saying get rid of Sean McDermott, because I believe in the next coaching cycle. I believe in the next coaching cycle, the two hot coaches, and every year it's the hot coaches. Who's the it boy in this next coaching cycle? Last year,
Tomlin, McDermott, Schwartz. Let me put him out there. Jim Schwartz. By the way, Marcus, see, I told you about this. See, you did it once in the beginning, and now you're doing it now as we getting closer to the end of the show. This you do this every time on the damn show. You think you slick. The answer to me, but I'm gonna give you the answer. The answer is no. And the answer is no because of what you've seen in the presser. What you've seen in the presser was fucking telltale. It was telltale. When Pegula got up there and they threw him under the bus, when Bean got up there and threw him under the bus, when they did all that supposedly coaching searching and said that Josh Allen was in every single one of those, and then they went and still hired Joe Brady, that was a telltale to me. The Buffalo Bills will not be doing any one and done with Joe Brady. Joe Brady could be 6-10, and guess what? They're going to give him another year. He will get at least minimum 2 years. Okay. Minimum 2 years. Off of the strength of what you saw in that presser. That presser told a hell of a lot. It told, number one, that Pegula don't need a microphone. Number two, it told me that Brandon Beane is a snake in the grass individual, piece of shit. By the way, yes, I said it. You could clip it, send it to him. I don't care. I would tell him in his face, you're a piece of shit. Sean McDermott is the reason why you even got the job in Buffalo, number one. And you threw him under the bus. Why? Because he told you the roster wasn't good enough? He was right. The roster ain't good enough. You literally showed that when you claimed, oh, we scored 30 points a game and we don't need a wide receiver. Then the next week, same week, went and got bargain basement receivers that weren't good enough. That literally didn't make the team.
And then missed out on Waddle.
And then missed out on Waddle somehow, you big dumbass. And then turned around and got your boot smoked by Denver that put up 33 points on you. So it didn't even matter about the 30 points that you put up. And then you threw Keon Coleman under the bus. We can talk about how you threw Keon Coleman under the bus, Mr. I didn't really want him, but then we got receipts, you big dumbass, in a world where everybody records and keeps receipts, you big dummy. Yeah, you literally wanted Keon Coleman. Stop lying. You literally traded in the you literally traded back so that you would pay Keon Coleman only second round money instead of first round money because you knew he would be there. So you can't lie and say, oh, well, we wasn't really going to get him. Lie. That's a fucking lie. You shouldn't be on any microphone. See this? You need to stay away from this. This right here, you should be allergic to. Anytime you get close by it, you should sniff, you should sneeze, you should get an electric shock, something, some current, something that keeps you away from this. You stay away from it. And Joe Brady, sir, to come out and the first thing you say out your mouth is you can't wait to see Josh Allen throw an interception? You moron. Did you think that was cool? That sounded cute in theory. Sounded real cute in theory. Wanted to see him. You saw him throw 4 of them against Denver. Was you okay with that? I'm just wondering. Were you okay when he threw all those interceptions against Denver? Was you okay with that? I'm just what? I mean, make it make sense for me, sir. Dumb. You know what this whole thing reads to me? It reads and reeks of incompetence and laziness, if you want to be honest. I told you I already had the side out on the Bills before. I'm really going like full heel mode on the Bills this year because I have a feeling. I got a the Black Eyed Peas. I got a feeling. I got a feeling that it ain't gonna be a whole lot of good nights coming up with the schedule you got coming up too.
And we sat down and we talked about with your deficiencies in the running game and the backs that you have to see this year. The backs that you have to see this year is like a murderer's row, man.
Yeah, Devon. Did you see what Devon just put? We need to fake a Josh Allen injury, tank the season, draft Jeremiah Smith and a bunch of high draft picks. You know what's funny? As weird as that sounds, to that
when you say tank, where's your look? This is way too. Look, we're doing this way. Hang on.
I say this before you say that.
Okay.
This only works if Doug Whaley was your GM. Oops, did I say that?
Yeah.
It only works if Doug Whaley is your GM. You want to know why? Because Brandon Beane has only drafted 2 Pro Bowlers and 58 selectees. Wow, Doug Whaley drafted literally 5 in one season in 2017. He drafted 5 legitimate Pro Bowlers. 5, sir. It only works if you have people of competence in your office, which is something I've been talking about for years. That only works if you do that. That's number one. Number two, secondly, the second thing is, and I got to say this, you just built a brand new stadium in which, yep, look at it when it dropped. Yeah, you just built a brand new stadium in which you decided to appease a certain clientele, charging all that money for seats, licensing, the whole 9 yards. You think those folks want to see the Buffalo Bills go 6-10 this year and tank? Absolutely not.
And here's the other thing.
You think they're gonna be okay with that?
He said, D just said tank. But now this is way too early.
Mm-hmm.
This is way too early. Where do we see Jeremiah Love going in this draft? And we just had the draft a week and a half ago, and I know we're jumping way, we're way in over our skis, but I believe Jeremiah Smith will be a top 3 pick. I think you'll have the quarterbacks to get Jeremiah Smith. That's not 6-10. That's
2-15.
That's 2.
Which Devon just said he only want him to win 2 games. There is no way. On God's green earth.
If you did that, they would.
Brady would be fired if you go 2-15. Brady would be fired. That would probably be
not just get fired. He would be tar and feathered.
Yeah,
he would be. Yeah, you're saying tank. Tank is not 6-10, 6-11, 7-10. That's 2-15, 3-14. If you were to go 2-15, 3-14,
you get excoriated.
There would be that. So
you get booed out the building. They would boo him out the building. Legitimately.
Even getting a guy like Jamar Chase, they picked him at like 5. Jeremiah Smith, you're going to have to draft him like top 3. I see quarterbacks, and look, this is way too early. I want to preface this by saying this is way too early. You get just like every year, you're going to see some quarterbacks going to emerge, some edge rushers going to emerge, and then after that, Jeremiah Smith, and you're talking about you got to probably be in the top 3 or 4 to get him. So I just don't see a world where Buffalo could appease both sides, where you're winning for the luxury box people, and then you're bad enough to be drafting that high to get that caliber of player. That's New Orleans Saints, New York Jets. By the way, the New York Jets next year have 3 first-round picks again in the Quinnen Williams trade, the Sauce Gardner trade. So to get that, you need multiple draft picks, like the Jets. The Jets have a bunch. I could see them next year probably going quarterback. If they were able to get Jeremiah Smith, that's what they'd be. Buffalo would have to give up so much. They would have to give up their firstborn child. They probably have to. The girl who's the tennis player, they probably have to include her. We'll give you stock. We'll give you stock of the team, and we'll give you some seats and a lifelong supply of buffalo wings, and plus the tennis player. We'll throw her in the mix too. You would have to get up so much it would gut your team, man. It would just literally.
Absolutely right. They priced them out just like TKO pricing out wrestling fans. That's a good analogy. Absolutely perfect. Brady, Devon said they need to do need Brady to do what they did to Lovely Smith, win 2 games, fire anyone that's associated with Bean or McDermott. Anybody. Yeah, I agree with that 110%. I am one who still think that Sean McDermott should have been fired. I am one who don't think that Buffalo did their due diligence and did a good job. This is a dereliction of duty to me. If you're looking at Pegula, I'm gonna tell you why, and it's real simple. You know how y'all keep asking, you know what? A certain someone, that a certain someone. I just want to put it out there while he with the damn Cheshire Cat smile. He know what I'm about to say too. This is how long we've been doing shows because he think he's so slick with the Cheshire Cat smile on his face. This guy literally on a show. I'm gonna tell you what he did. He swear he's slick, but he do it all the time. Said who would be the big brother if who won a championship first, right? Between the Sabres and Bills, right? You know what's so funny about that? Because this is going to go right to my thought about dereliction of duty. Literally, as soon as the Buffalo Sabres got rid of their GM, the Buffalo Sabres are now in the second round of the playoffs. Right now. Today. They are in the second round of the playoffs. We ain't seen that and God knows how long. It's been 15 years since they've been in the playoffs. Can you imagine? By the way, they play Montreal. This is a perfect segue. By the way, they play Montreal. If the Buffalo Sabres beat the Montreal Canadiens this place will go nuts. And it's all because the office made the right decision finally to get rid of Kevyn Adams' silly, goofy, moronic ass. By the way, Kevyn Adams is from right here. And he did a Brandon Beane too. Mr. We can't get talent because there isn't palm trees. You from here. You're from here.
You said what?
Yes, you heard what I said. I said.
We can't get talent because we don't have palm trees?
Yes.
He said that?
He did. Goofy. This Goofy literally went on that. Bro,
wow.
Shout out to the Buffalo Sabres organization that has been phenomenal to me, by the way. They have been nothing but phenomenal when it comes to me. The organization. I'm not talking about stupid media pundits. I'm talking about the organization has been phenomenal to me when it comes to sports, hockey in general. This idiot knows that PR goes through what you say before you get up there. They literally, I swear to God, Marcus, I'm not even playing. They have a whole room for this. They literally talk you through what you're gonna say before you get up on this thing right here that's so powerful that people don't understand and say what you said. This dumbass went off script like a bad WWE wrestler, went off script and decided to run his mouth and say, we don't get talent here because we don't have palm trees. You dumb mother.
Ice sport?
He's literally from here.
For ice sport, too. Like, I could say for like baseball or something like that. But
Buffalo is still a hockey town, sir. Yeah. We literally host World Juniors here. We host world events in hockey here. You idiot.
People play on frozen lakes.
Listen. The phenomenal great, and I'll put this, and y'all better not, I promise you better not snitch or put me on blast, but I'm gonna say it because he know I tell him to. But the great Rob Ray, the Razor, had some choice words about when he did that. When he has choice words for what you're doing, it's a problem. Okay, it's a major problem. I'm not gonna tell you what he said exactly, but he had some choice words. And I tell you right now that is a disrespect to your locker room, which is the reason why the Sabres in the beginning of the year, by the way, this is the same season where Buffalo went from worst to first. By the way, worst to first in the same season. This is why they didn't want to play for them. This is why the players didn't want to play for Kevyn Adams and them. And as soon as they got Jarmo, they turned all the way up. You see how they turned up? You see all the talent they got? You see all what they doing? You see the conversations in the locker room different? It moved different. Folks don't understand. You can build a home, but it takes effort, contingency, conversation, communication, positivity to build a home. There's a difference between a house and a home. Okay. They have built a home, and it's resonating right now. Right now. So when they win, I'm gonna go back to Pegula and be like, well, Pegula, did you see how they won? Did you see how quick and fast like this? Because the Sabres should have been in the playoffs 3 years prior, if we're being honest. They could have went to the playoffs with Don Granato as the coach.
Would you say that? Would you say that Pegula shows a little bit more favoritism towards the Sabres than he does the Buffalo Bills? Do you feel like he gives the same amount of effort? Look.
Ooh, look at it. Look. Listen. Clip this. Here go Marcus the Alphabets. Once again. You see this? You see what he doing? You see what he just did? Marcus, the answer is no. No. I'm going to tell you what. Watch this. Ready? Okay. I've been there damn near 10 years. I ain't seen Pegula at one Sabres game. Did that answer the question for you? By the way, RJ was here and died. Shout out to the late, great RJ. Rick Jenneret. They booed. When they mentioned Pegula, they booed him. Booed. He ain't been here. Kim care about them teams more than he do. He is a oil fracker. He's not a sports guy.
But I bet you what. I bet you they win the Stanley Cup. I bet he'll be up there on the podium.
Watch this. And if I'm the city of Buffalo, I would boo. Listen, at the greatest moment, and that would be one of the greatest moments in Buffalo sports history if they win the Stanley Cup, I would boo the hell out of him.
We won in spite of you. We won in spite of you.
Exactly. I would boo him out the building. He would have no reference here. Sir, you go back to whatever it was that you was doing. You wasn't shooting in the gym. You didn't show up. We didn't see you. I've seen Kim more than I've seen Terry. And Kim been sick for a while. And I still have seen Kim more than I've seen Terry. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And by the way, getting back to this whole Bills thing, you owe Jim Schwartz an apology, by the way. Your organization owes Jim Schwartz an apology. Legitimately.
Was there any type of talk, whether formally or informally, of him being the next head coach of the Buffalo Bills?
Who, Jim Schwartz?
Yes.
No.
Do you think that, look, and this is way too early. Again, a lot of this is speculation. With the Buffalo Bills be better. And look, I understand the familiarity with Brady, being the offensive coordinator there in Buffalo. Was he the right hire? When you bring the intensity of somebody, see, I believe, this is my opinion, from what I see as an outsider, you guys would be more privy to this than me. I think what Buffalo really is missing with that organization is a fiery, and me and Devon, we talked about this off the air, a guy that's fiery, a guy that's fiery. When you look, I promise you this, Jim Schwartz would have that defense ready. I don't really worry so much about the offense. I think the offense could be better. Look, we'll see what happens with DJ Moore. We'll see what happens with some of these weapons. We know what James Cook did last year, what he did. And we know Josh Allen, MVP, type seasons or whatever. But I think the thing that they've really missed is a guy on the defensive side of the ball. And with him being the coach, I think you would have more of a defensive mindset where it's like, Kansas City, you're not going to push us around. Houston, you're not going to push us around. I don't know if with the Brady hiring, I think it's kind of somewhat of a continuation of Sean McDermott. Somewhat. Now, were you holding back some of your plays? Because you were the play caller. You were the play caller. I never thought that Sean McDermott was a good in-game tactician. I will say that I thought that was one of his weaknesses. And I thought the defense got a lot of, especially like after Leslie Frazier left. But I think a guy like what you all really needed was a guy like Jim Schwartz, a hard-nosed type coach. I don't view Joe Brady as that type. I view Joe Brady as more of a Kellen Moore type, a whiz kid type. But I think in that Buffalo environment, especially when you think about the conditions, when you think about the new stadium, when you think about the economics of the stadium, I think you needed a guy more like Schwartz than you did a continuation of Joe Brady. Now we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll come back here, and if I was wrong, I'll come back on here. All of this stuff is recorded on YouTube. But we'll come back to this. So hold this receipt.
Marcus,
yeah.
Clip this. And if I'm wrong, okay, I'll be wrong. Listen, the greatest and best of them have been wrong at some point in time.
Okay.
But clip this, okay? You're being nice. I'm not going to be so nice. I told you this. My grace is sufficient. I said that earlier. Sir, Joe Brady was about 5 games from stale offense, from being away from being fired. Okay? Did you not see the trend with Ken Dorsey? Did you not see that? Because Joe Brady pretty much did what Ken Dorsey did offensively. Hot for 5 minutes and went. I swear to God, they should have a whole album, a Katy Perry album of Hot and Cold. The entire album should be nothing about hot, going hot, and then going cold. Because that's exactly what Ken Dorsey did, and that's exactly what Joe Brady was doing as the offensive coordinator. And this is why I say dereliction of duty, because anybody with a brain could see that Joe Brady was starting to go cold offensively. His schemes were pretty freaking predictable. You had coaches that came out and literally said, well, we already knew what they were going to do, and it was easy. It was easy for us to pick up on, right? He was probably about 5 games away from being fired. Had not there been the BS with Bean and obviously him playing Sean McDermott in the middleman game. I'm just wondering how those locker room conversations went. I'm just wondering behind the scenes how that worked. Bean had conversations with Brady. Like Bean had conversations with Brady. Because, I mean, obviously McDermott wasn't in the loop. He couldn't have been. And you couldn't have felt like that. The way they came out, and I'm telling you, that presser was damning. That presser was very alarming to the messy, toxic, traumatic
environment. Yeah. And here's the thing about it. This was a golden opportunity to make a splash to the coaching department.
Yep.
Especially moving into the new building. I don't want to be out coached. When you look at the coaching talent that's in the AFC, when you look at the Paytons and the Reeds and the Harbaughs and the Vrabels. Look, I know everybody knows laughing and joking about the whole Vrabel thing. He was in the Super Bowl last year. And a team like the Texans, who are an emerging team, we've talked about this. We just talked about the whole Caden McDonald ordeal, but I think we need to start putting D'Amico Ryan up there too, as far as like good young coaches with a lot of talent. And you get a guy who's been an offensive coordinator. Look, I don't know what Brady's going to do, but based off of what I've seen him do. Now it's just you have more responsibility. You can still be calling plays or whatnot, but now your responsibilities have changed because you're the top guy. And I just felt like, in the draft, and you saying that cornerback is your biggest need, and when you just looked at, we just talked about the inability to stop the run. And then you look at this schedule here that we're looking at right now. And me and Devon had talked about and me and Devon had talked about this a little bit, and me and you talked about this off the air. Dolphins twice, Achane.
No, Marcus, let's hold on, Marcus. Let's put the magnifying glass where it needs to be. I get it. We talked about it offline. We're gonna talk about this online real quick. We're gonna do this one more time, like a Daft Punk song. We got to do this one more time, and y'all, and I hope y'all get the significance of where we're going with this and the reason why I brung this up. Marcus, go ahead and talk about how they play the Dolphins twice. Who's the Dolphins running back?
We talk about the running backs that they could not stop last year. Now you got a second place schedule. You got a second place schedule this year, and you look at these opponents here. So let's talk about the starting running backs. And you had an opportunity to get you had an opportunity to get the number one nose tackle in this draft, and you declined on that. Achane twice, Travion Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson.
Stop right there. Hold on. Achane, didn't Achane run for almost 200 yards against Buffalo last year?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Continue. Go ahead.
Travion Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson. Now, Travion Henderson was a rookie last year. I saw a run last year where he ran to the right, and then he cut back across field and outran the entire team.
Travion Henderson had over 100 yards last year against Buffalo, did he not? Yes, he did. Yes. Two games against Breece Hall, an improved Jets team that you traded with and let them get a good number 2 receiver, but they also still have Breece Hall and Braylon Allen. Okay.
The Kansas City Chiefs, the reigning defending Super Bowl MVP. Y'all know that Kenneth Walker went to the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
The second best running back from last year's draft, Omarion Hampton with the Chargers. The Bears, two-man
and J.K. Dobbins.
No, J.K. Dobbins is with the Broncos.
Oh, that's okay. They still got to play him. Yeah, they still got to play him.
So looking at the Bears, that's Swift and Monangai with Ben Johnson and a rejuvenated, Caleb Williams.
We know. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe the best back in the game is Jahmyr Gibbs. Oh, and they got Pacheco as his backup from the Chiefs. Ravens, Derrick Henry.
He done did the Buffalo.
Then jumping over to a way, we got Achane again, Henderson again, Braylon Allen and Breece Hall again. Then you got J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey, who eliminated you in the playoff game. J.K. wasn't there because he tore his ACL, but R.J. Harvey did his thing. Then your guy, Josh Jacobs, with the Raiders, the best back in last year's draft, and Ashton Jeanty. Plus, I want y'all to remember this name, Mike Washington, out of the University of Arkansas. 225, 4.3 speed. They got a 1-2 punch going on over there. Vikings, Aaron Jones. Texans just went and picked up Knuckles from the Lions. Plus, you had Woody Marks last year in the game that you played against them. He's the backup, and he had a good game against you.
Yeah.
And then finally, another 1-2 punch in Kyron Williams and Blake Corum. But your biggest need was corner.
You can't be serious. This is what I'm saying. You can't be serious. And the Bills gave up 1,993 yards. And with that, what you just heard, with no legitimate nose tackle currently right now, no legitimate nose tackle, and no real interior linebacking core, and you only got $12 million to spend. I'm just wondering, with a first-year coach,
They haven't paid your rookie class yet.
With a first-year head coach and a first-year defensive coordinator in Jim Leonard, by the way, first year, and this is the problem. Buffalo keep doing all this first-year bullshit, these science experiments. I told you, remember the first time they did this science experiment full on, the Bills went 6-10. I just want y'all to remember this. Okay?
Don't go 6-10 this year in that new building.
So guess what? Josh Allen better not have an injury, not the slightest of an injury. He better not have the slightest of an injury. You better keep him on his feet. He better stand upright the whole season. You better run James Cook till you can't run James Cook no more. You better hope that those wide receivers. Skylar Bell is actually a good pick. I think Skylar Bell was pretty good because he was the main vocal point at UConn. And I get it. UConn doesn't play meaningful football. But to be the main target in an entire system has to stand for something at this point. You hope. You hope. By the way, I think they got DJ Moore 2 years too late. By the way, I think they could have got DJ Moore 2 years ago. You literally have the Carolina relationship. You had it. DJ Moore was right there. You might not even be having this conversation about wide receivers had you got him 2 years ago, because I would say DJ Moore was a better receiver 2 years ago, Carolina, than he is now in Chicago, than he was in Chicago. I would think so.
And you may not have even needed to give up you gave up a second rounder for him this year when there were talks of the Bears just cutting him, and you gave up a second round pick, which had a domino effect in the fact that now, because I don't have a second round pick, I'm trading out of the first because I don't want to draft a player and then don't draft for 2 rounds.
On top of that, I don't want to pay a player who really is in the first round money. And then you fucked around. Hold on, watch this. And then you messed around and went and got, like Devon said in the comment section, said that, corner was your need, and then went and got a guy who's going to commit penalties even more. Even more.
And here's the other thing. You could have stayed right there. Last year, we had a guy named Will Johnson. Okay? Will Johnson. They were talking about his knees or whatnot. He played pretty well this year. You could have stayed where you were. And look, you got a little bit of time, and you could have drafted Jermont McCoy, who a lot of people thought was a top 5 pick. And you could have got him at the back end or at the top of the second round.
Like the year prior when you needed safety help, and you could have drafted Nick Emmanwari. And instead, you got Maxwell Harrison, who only played 7 games, when you could have got both of them.
Nick Emmanwari, who was in the defensive rookie of the year conversation. So
Marcus. No. See, Marcus, you're being nice when you say in the conversation, when in reality, he should have been defensive player of the year. The only reason why he wasn't defensive player of the year is because of that linebacker from Cleveland, by the way, who plays with Myles Garrett, which is the reason why I kind of want to be like, Emmanwari should have won it even more. You play with Myles Garrett in Cleveland, who had zero impact on the season compared to the team who literally went to the Super Bowl.
You're playing on a well-rounded team. Don't forget, Emmanwari played with like Tariq Woolen, Kobe Bryant. Not that Kobe Bryant. Let's not act like he was playing with some scrubs out there in the Seattle team.
Hold on, Marcus. And as funny as smooth as that came off your tongue.
Yeah.
Tariq Woolen is where right now? Where's Tariq?
Eagles.
Because the only place I can find Tariq is on Power right now. I can't find him. I can't find him on the NFL roster right now.
All them guys are gone because they couldn't afford to pay him. Guess what? The Super Bowl MVP ain't on their team no more either. That's
guess what?
So let's not act like
he got picked up though. But Kansas City picked him up. Tariq Woolen is still on the free agency list right now as we speak today.
He's with the Eagles.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. The Eagles did pick him up. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But how long?
And Kobe Bryant.
It took him a minute.
He's with the Bears. Tariq Woolen, 6'3" corner.
It took him a minute to pick up Tariq though. He didn't just get picked up like.
I'm just saying that team got gutted. That team got gutted.
Oh, it got gutted.
They lost their offensive coordinator. They lost their offensive coordinator, 2 of their starting cornerbacks. They got gutted. So look, when you win championships, people go over there and they start gutting your coaching staff.
Marcus, wait a minute. You're comparing Tariq Woolen with Denzel Ward? Because Denzel Ward plays in Cleveland, sir.
No. I'm saying overall,
Just saying.
What was Seattle's defense ranked?
Oh, we know it was.
Okay, let's not act like look. That's not to take anything. That's not to diminish.
What was Cleveland's rank? What was Cleveland's defense ranked last year?
Okay, but they had no offense. They had no. Let me ask you this. Okay, let me ask you this.
Wait a minute, Marcus.
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead,
if Cleveland had any offense, now last year, Myles Garrett won the Defensive Player of the Year, right? Imagine if the Browns had any type of offense where they got a lead.
What you gonna?
Now, how do you generally get leads? How do you generally get leads? How do you usually get sacks? You get sacks when the other team is throwing the ball a lot, right? At the end of games, what do you do against the Cleveland Browns? What did Aaron Rodgers do? So he wouldn't get be the person to break the sack record? What did Josh Allen do when they played against the Browns? What did he do that entire game?
I can't. Ready? Here's the motion.
Yeah. He did not. Yes. So imagine if the Cleveland Browns had any type of offensive firepower where they could get a lead and the other team was trying to come back and they had to throw the ball and the Browns knew that they were going to throw the ball. He got 23 and a half sacks. Imagine if the Browns had I would love to know how many minutes the Cleveland Browns led a game last year. How many minutes did the Cleveland Browns lead a game?
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and look that up. But I tell you what, Marcus, you are speaking volumes to exactly what I'm saying. Because guess what? I guarantee you, if the Cleveland Browns defense wasn't on the field so much, the Cleveland Browns might have had the number one defense last year. Because guess why? Your defense ain't got to be on the field that long. And guess why? Because your offense can sustain drives. So guess why? Because your defense would be even more refreshed and healthier. And probably them wheels would probably be treading less. So Myles Garrett might have had 30 damn sacks last year.
That's what I'm saying.
And guess what? And then your safety play, and then your safeties, and then your linebacking core and your corners that Cleveland had, which was pretty damn good last year for the most part, probably would have been even better. So when we say Seattle had the number one overall defense, I would say that's all good and fine, but we also have to examine these other teams that was in the top 5 defense and who played defense longer. Was it Cleveland or was it Seattle? And that's a no-brainer because you just mentioned it.
I'm just saying when you're fresh, when you're out there and you're fresh.
Absolutely.
When Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker III are running up and down the field and JSN is leading the league in receiving yards and receiving touchdowns, it helps your defense. That's all that I'm saying.
All I'm saying is that my man listen, you giving JSN a little bit too much respect. My man Devontae Adams led the league in touchdown receptions last year.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Those 10
respect. I know you like the Chicago Bears and all that. Now.
I don't like the Chicago Bears.
Or whatever the case. This newfound love, even though you from the city. By the way, y'all know Marcus is from Chicago, right? He is the CM Punk. The CM Punk. Mr. Chicago's very own. Okay, don't let Marcus fool you. Okay, with the bull stuff. All right, don't let him fool you. Marcus like the Chicago Bears. He like them. He like the Bears. But guess what, Marcus? I tell you what. We'll find out this season what happens when teams are healthy again. And we'll see if we start giving up nicknames that are already been given, like Iceman, who already been given to Irvin,
George Gervin.
George Gervin, my man George Gervin, the Iceman. Why you trying to rip off his nickname? We're gonna see about all that. Okay,
Only Iceman I know is from Top Gun. But we appreciate y'all.
From where?
From Top Gun. That was Maverick.
No, I can't. You gonna act like Iceman ain't no damn superhero, huh? That's what we
Iceman from Marvel, yeah. Bobby Drake.
Oh, hold on. Ramona Dye said, wow. Ramona said Browns defense was on the field a total of 521 minutes and 30. Bro, this sounds like a damn musical song. 535,600 minutes. That's like, what is going on here?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Imagine if the Browns had a lead. Again,
that's about 8 hours and 42 minutes of game time.
Imagine if the Browns had a lead and the other team was trying to catch up, and they had to catch up by throwing the ball. And the Browns knew that they had to throw the ball. And you could unleash Myles Garrett to go get the quarterback because they have to throw the ball. Imagine that. That's what I'm saying. Who you play with matters. Who you play with matters. Sometimes it's not. It's imagine if CJ Stroud didn't suck so bad, and Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter could go hunting for the quarterback. Imagine that. Imagine CJ Stroud not just turning over the ball, and the Houston Texans defense could just go hunt. That's all that I'm saying. Like, you have to earn the right to go. You have to earn the right to go pass rush. If I know that you can't stop the run, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep running the football. So that's all that is. We appreciate y'all coming out. Look, this was a last minute type thing. Y'all know I be doing coffee talk from time to time. I wasn't going to do it, Drake.
Hold on, folks. Just realize, Marcus said this was a last minute. No, this was a spare of the moment thing. This wasn't a last minute thing. This was a spare of the moment. And guess what? Marcus the Alphabets be ruling it and killing it on coffee talk, right? And Marcus is usually used to 1 hour coffee talks, and this was a whole 2 hour show in which you got to see how Rise Up early and coffee talk mash up. Now I'll put this in the comment section. If y'all want more of that in the near future or in the future, y'all go ahead and put it in the comment section. Y'all go ahead, put it in the inbox or two.
Maybe I could get Mona. She did a show with me last Monday after the draft. I know she's got.
Shout out to Ramona Dye again. Yeah.
So I'll try to get her up in here. She's got the girls playing softball, so like her schedule's a little bit different. But look, like I said, when there's pertinent news, it comes up. Look, this is kind of the dead time of year. As far as, well, I mean, we still got sport. We got baseball. We don't do a lot of baseball, but we're in the middle of basketball playoffs, hockey playoffs, and but if y'all want some stuff like that, sometimes to get these guys up in here, my lovely co-host and Dre, let us know. We'll come up with some topics and stuff like that, and hop on here and put something together for y'all. Okay.
Go Sabres, damn it! Let's go.
The big brothers. We're going to start calling them the big bros.
Tell you in a minute.
The big bros.
In a minute.
Are y'all doing a show tonight?
Yeah, we'll do a show tonight because I need them to talk. I need them to talk about what they need to talk about. They got some answers. They got some answering to do, some questions to be answered on this show tonight. So I'll be definitely on there talking more NBA. We'll talk a little WNBA too. I ain't get to the WNBA today, but we'll get to it later tonight. And yeah, it's a lot of things that need to be talked about. We got a couple of Game 1 games coming up today in the NBA. We got a couple of hockey games coming up. We got to talk about the Sabres. A Wednesday night right here, KeyBank Center. KeyBank Center is going to be rocking. You thought round 1 was rocking? Round 2 is going to be rocking even more. But I need the Sabres to win hockey games. We'll talk about it at home. We will talk about it at home because right now, the Buffalo Sabres, I'm calling them the Road Warriors. The Road Warriors. They won all 3 games in Boston, by the way. Did you know that, Marcus? all 3 games on the road. I need you to show up at home. All right, we'll talk about it tonight. Rise up. Monday night, late night madness. Monday night, late night madness. All right, we'll talk about it. Marcus off the bench. You already know what time it is. I'm just waiting to hear them 2 words from you.
See ya.